All right, today I'm going to be cooking a new cut of meat that I've been dying to try and have not had a chance to give it a shot yet. I've seen people cook this online before and they say it is better than steak. What I'm talking about is Iberico Secreto. Now, Iberico is a breed of pork similar to how Wagyu is a breed of cow. The Secreto steak comes from near the belly section, and they say this is the best cut of meat you can get. Now, I haven't found a good source for this for a decent price until recently. There's a company called Campo Grande. I purchased this meat myself, so I'm going to give you an honest review. And first off, their prices are great. They have a ton of good deals if you are a first-time buyer, and even after that point. I got two of their pork boxes. One of them was the barbecue box. The other one I think was just their original Iberico box. It came with 8 total cuts of meat for, I believe, $250, which is a great price for Iberico meat. Came with some awesome cuts that I didn't even hear of. Came with a 4-bone rib loin rack, which was absolutely delicious. It also comes with some spare ribs, which I am super excited to give a try. But most importantly, it came with this Iberico steak, which is supposedly, like I said, one of the best cuts of meat out there. Now, the Iberico pig comes from Spain, but I believe they have been imported to somewhere in Georgia. And the reason they say Iberico meat is so good is because the pigs are eating acorns and it gives it a fantastic flavor. But just the meat alone is super marbled. But I'm excited to give this a try. So without further ado, let's get this opened up, seasoned, and I'm just gonna grill this like a traditional steak on a charcoal grill. So here's the Iberico Secreto. Let's get this opened up and take a look. And there we have it. So this reminds me of a skirt steak, which is one of my favorite steaks to cook. You can see the beautiful marbling we have in there. This is going to be good, I can already tell. It's a little thick here, it's got thinner bits, plenty of fat. I'm just gonna leave it as is. This is gonna add fantastic flavor when we grill it up hot and fast. So let's go ahead and get this seasoned. And since this is such a delicious cut of meat, I'm just gonna go on with some kosher salt here. Decent amount. Let's get it flipped over. Get some salt on this side. I'm super excited to give this a try. And just like a skirt steak, we have our grains running in this direction, so we'll have to remember to cut it in the correct direction when it's finished. All right, so now all I want to do is just let this sit with the salt on here for about 15 minutes to let it penetrate that meat a bit. Once it's done, we'll get it over to the charcoal grill and give it a hot and fast sear. All right, so we got the charcoal grill all fired up. This thing is nice and hot. Let's go ahead and throw this Secreto right on. All right, so my plan with this is just to keep searing and flipping. I'll probably do that a few times till it's done. See, we already have some flare-ups. It's because that fat. Gotta be careful for that. Looking good. So if the flare-ups get a little much, I like to just spin it away for a little bit. Those flames come down. But we're not looking too bad, so let's get this back over the fire. And I kind of like that flame seared. Look at that. Let's give that a flip. Like I said, we're going to flip this a few times here. Bet you these crispy edges are going to be absolutely delicious. Smells fantastic. Let's just spin this real quick. We'll bring it back. Oh yeah. That's some serious flare up right there. Get a nice crust. Let's just give that a spin. We'll flip this over. Oh yeah, look at that. Now let's get this back over the heat. I want to keep checking the temp on this. Yeah, we're still right about 82 degrees in the thick part there. So as you can see, this one part needs a little more sear, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it like that. Get this seared up nice here. Once I get a nice sear, I can always put it in the indirect heat side, then put the cover on and we'll let it finish up like that. But this is looking great. Yep, it's got a nice sear. Let's flip this over. Get this other side a nice sear. Man, the fat in this thing is incredible. Similar to Wagyu, this fat is going to melt off at a lower temperature. That's why you're going to have to be worried about flare-ups like this. This is looking pretty good though. So I think this needs a little bit more of a sear. Let's just get that right over the flame. And it doesn't take long. There you go, nice beautiful sear on there. Let's get another temp check real quick. We're at 111, 112 in that thick part. I want to get this thing up to about 145. You gotta watch it, keep flipping it. So I like what we got going on here. I think I might do one sear on this side more, and then I think I'm all set. This side's looking good too. Let's let that sear a little bit like that. Now, we got, this thing's on fire. We got flare-ups here. All right. Now, I'm just gonna let that finish up. This is probably gonna take just a couple more minutes, but once it's done, I'll pull it off, let it rest, and I will see you to slice it up and give it a try. All right, here is the delicious Iberico Secreto. Now, when you're cooking a piece of meat like this, you can have issues finishing it evenly because you have thick parts, you got thin parts. I usually like to go by the thickest part, and with a piece of pork, you want to bring it to 145. So here in the thick part, I brought that up to 145, so we should be good to go. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is cut this into 3 different sections, like so. So I can get some nice slices out of it. And you can see it's nice and pink. That's okay for pork, especially this Iberico pork. But check that out, looks absolutely delicious. So let me go ahead, get some slices from this meaty section that was super marbled. It's got a beautiful crust on here, and it's going to go so well with that charcoal flavor. Nice and tender. So just check out that piece of meat right there. That is a gorgeous looking piece of pork, super juicy. So let's go ahead and give this a try. All right, this smells fantastic. It looks great. So I'm not gonna wait any longer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a try. Super juicy, nice and fatty, coats your lips. It's absolutely delicious. That charcoal flavor, like I thought, added fantastic flavor to this. This is just salt, and it tastes so good. I think next time I probably would add a touch of pepper, but wow. The flavor you get from the fat on this is so delicious. If I didn't know what this was and I couldn't see the color of it, I would not guess this is pork. This tastes just like steak. And I actually just had a ribeye, so I can compare pretty well. And this stuff is so good. This is not normal pork at all. It is so tender and juicy. I can see why people say this is better than steak. So if you're interested in some of this Iberico pork, be sure to check out Campo Grande. Absolutely fantastic cuts of meat at a really good price. And again, not sponsored at all. And I will definitely be ordering more from them. I've already tried out a few cuts of steaks. The last thing I want to try is those Iberico spare ribs. Those are going to be so good. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see another barbecue video by me, check this one out right over here. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe right over here. Now, I will put a link to Campo Grande down below if you're interested. I will also put a link to everything else I like to use in my videos down there as well. But most importantly, get out there and smoke something good.